Seriously? There are absolutely no other issues to make a cartoon about? Granted, I am happy that these cartoonists are talking about this, rather than their Russia collusion or even Qatar collusion nonsense. But still, I pity them if this is the most important story on their radar. While the fake news, which has not been truthful in over a decade, is saying that it was a miss, I wonder what Iran is saying. As in the people who have the most to lose by saying that the facilities were destroyed. They are saying that they were destroyed, and that it will take years to rebuild what was destroyed. So I wait on the retraction by Mr. Lukovich. Meanwhile, our own CIA says that they were destroyed. This cartoon is not just comparing apples to oranges. This is comparing apples to battleships. Not only are these services being provided to minors, who normally do not get a say in which healthy organs are removed, but the side effects of these drugs are plenteous. Most kids grow out of their insecurities after adolescence. I wonder if that is because it has something to do with being an adolescent who is uncomfortable in his own body. But I am sure that is completely unrelated. People who stop the criminals are generally hated. For reasons. Well, to be fair, it is not just reasons. The Democrat leadership needs these illegals to stay in order to remain in power. And so they have convinced their followers that MS-13 and Trendy Aragua are just social clubs. Not to mention all of the human traffickers. Democrats have a deplorable reason to target law enforcement. Granted, it is deplorable to target law enforcement anyway, but I digress. Mr. Heller honestly thinks that this is a fair comparison. The masks of the rioters are designed to hide their identities, so that they do not have to face lawful prosecution for their rioting. Law enforcement is wearing masks to keep the rioters from doxing them, and thus hurting their families. First of all, the recommendation was made by one of the two countries that President Trump brokered a peace deal with. Second of all, he has brokered peace deals by business dealings across the Middle East. Third, they gave the Nobel Prize to a president who is infamous for endlessly bombing countries for no good reason, and who was known at the time as the deporter-in-chief. This is also a false comparison, but for a different reason. If all of these other nations would stop saying that they want to destroy Israel, if all of these other nations would stop saying that they want Israel pushed into the sea, if all of these other nations would stop firing missiles into Israel, if all of these other nations would stop digging tunnels into Israel, Israel would probably leave them alone. Every man, woman, and child has a right to self-defense. And if your neighbors are trying to kill you and then push you into the sea, you have a right to defend yourself. I will not give Israel blanket support, but you can support Israel's right to self-defense without sending them money, troops, or weapons. Mockingbirds really need to stop drinking their own Kool-Aid. It is just getting ridiculous. President Trump is just doing the exact same thing that Nancy Pelosi, and the rest of the Democrat Party for that matter, have been proposing for years. Getting rid of the waste, fraud, and abuse. This cartoon is nothing but fear-mongering.